sacked today, do you think the problems get fixed? Regardless of who comes in next.
Yeah.
If Gregg is sacked today and we just bring in somebody else, are the problems
Jesse
fixed?
Marsh. Sorry. Um,
Oh man, that would be a fun topic. I'm gonna say it because now we have the opportunity to because you mentioned him. I think Jesse Marsh and his team selections would piss off the USMNT crowd even more than Greg Berhalter. Maybe that's a hot take, but I think this dude is MLS coded.
oh,
Like fully MLS coded.
did you just find the exact reason why I want him in the men's national team just for my pure joy?
Just to
Um,
piss people off.
so it depends on who comes in, right? Like I think a top tier coach takes these play and we've had this conversation before. People can go look up some of our other USMNT episodes, but and again, I hate giving you credit, but I'll do it if I have to. You made a really good point about the level of experience Gregg has versus the level of experience that these players have. Right? Gregg is a MLS once tried in Europe and failed uh, coach who's been promoted to the national team, which was great in 2010 when most of our players were here. We've got players who are the best player on one of the best teams in one of the best leagues in the country. In Christian Pulisic, in Weston McKennie playing well in Juve. Um, there are disconnects there between what you can teach them or what they are able to know from other coaches at very high levels comparative to what he is able to. I said, I cannot walk into the men's national team tomorrow and fix their problems, even with my licensing and experience in the game, whatever. I can't, right? I can't even walk into a USL2 side and make them successful. I probably would struggle to walk into Alfred's side if I wanted to and coach this team into success. I'd be a little bit more adept at it because I've been in the program for 3 years, right? Well, as a coach and then 4 years as a player. So I know exactly what we're doing. But there is a level where you need to like as a coach, as a manager, need to understand like I don't know if I can get this guy better. Like it's really good that Messi is already damn near perfect because how does a manager go in and be like, I'm going to get the best out of you, Lionel Messi? It's like you don't. You know, you get the best out of Lionel Messi. You know, get the best out of Cristiano Ronaldo. Have fun.
Yeah, leave him alone.
Don't do not listen to a word. You're gonna track back. You're gonna make up a back five when we're in
Yeah, I need you to press, Leo. 90
yeah,
minutes of pressing.
and then he's gonna turn around and be like, no,
Absolutely
and
not.
then he's gonna go score 4 goals, right? Like there are levels to the ability, and I'm not saying that we have anybody in the men's national team at the level of one of those guys, but there are tiers, right? So if there is a person, and I'll throw out some names, right? Jose Mourinho, for example. I don't know if he's been picked up yet. Um, any of the guys who have managed maybe in the European leagues for a little bit longer, who fit the style of those players that have been training in that environment for the last 4, 5, 6 years, they probably can fix this issue. If we're calling Jesse Marsh, who is a gegenpress, win the ball at all costs in high areas and turn it over, if we're calling Wilfred Nancy,
Like that.
who might be a stretch, right? If we're calling um, Pat Noonan, Cincinnati, if we're calling Bradley Cornell, right? People who were successful in MLS might not necessarily get the best out of this group. People who were mid in Europe might not get the best out of this group. The elites from Europe always will find a way to get the best out of this group. So it'll depend. Long-winded answer to say it depends on who you bring in.
I want to make this point because I think it'll give hopefully some credit to what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best, and maybe this is just dated at this point and I'm misremembering, but I think Gregg's best performance so far in his tenure as coach was 2021 Gold Cup.
Yeah.
And you know what that roster consisted of in 2021 Gold Cup?
Yep.
Basically a full MLS roster. So I think it's exactly to your point. I mean, he's an MLS coach. It's where he was. It was his. I don't want to say his bread and butter because that makes it sound like he did really well there, but it's what he knows.
um,
So when he brings in players who are playing there and know a similar system, like I think that's when he'll get more out of those players. Not to say that the team itself will be better because he's bringing in MLS players who know how to do his system more, but I just think he'll be able to get more out of those players than he'll be able to get out of the European players.
well,
So,
and again, remember, you're not giving validity to my point. You're giving validity to your own point. This is your concept, right? Take ownership. Be proud.
okay. I am smart. I have much ball knowledge.